All right. We'll give it a few more minutes or like another minute or so and let everyone, kind of trickle in. Um, but we're going to put together some NFL futures parlays on prize picks. It's actually really simple to do it. It takes a little bit of manpower. But that's why I'm here. Let's put together some solid entries. Let's make some money. And yeah, so just give it another couple seconds and we'll get going. Alex isn't going to be on the stream. It's just going to be me. We're just going to find some price picks. Keep it simple. I mean, right now, we got like no sports going on. We got a little bit of tennis. Baseball, obviously, we're in the All-Star break. It's really a boring time. So I figured there's not a better way to spend the next couple of days than finding some football plays. All right. So I actually made it really easy for you guys. I already put an entry together on both Prize Picks and Underdog. I'll share both of them with you guys, and I'll kind of just show why I took all of them. So right now, let's see. We took Tony Pollard under 8.5 rushing yards or rushing touchdowns. We took Najee Harris under 999.5 rushing yards. ETN under 6.5 touchdowns. Cortland Sutton under 750.5 receiving yards. Eckler under 825.5 rushing yards, and Mike Evans under 6.5 receiving touchdowns. Okay. Now, the thing is with these futures, a lot of the books don't offer it. Okay. But I did it for baseball. Those are going all right so far. DraftKings and FanDuel are usually two pretty reliable sports books in terms of looking for those season-long totals. So I always keep those up, and we'll just kind of go through those plays that I took and why I took those specific ones. So number one, we'll look at Tony Pollard. So all we're going to do is we're going to go to the NFL tab, go to player futures, and just look. So we got, player totals, sorry. We're looking at rushing touchdowns. So we've got Najee Harris, or it was Pollard. Right there, we got Pollard under 8.5, rushing yards at -140 with the over at +120. If we want to look at FanDuel, you'll see that they're going to be probably around the same. We want to go here. We got rushing props. Again, Pollard. They got at -128 at 7.5. We took it at 8.5. Do you see that pricing discrepancy? I'm sorry. Yeah, so we got under 8.5 rushing yards. DraftKings has the under at -140, the over at +120. And FanDuel has it at 7.5. So, and the under being favored by quite a bit. So getting it at 8.5 at that implied odds of -118, because that's what the implied odds per leg are on a 5 or 6 pick entry, very solid. If you want to plug it into the NoVig calculator, just so you can kind of get an idea of what those fair odds are, we can do -140 and +120, -128. Insane edge. And that's being conservative considering FanDuel has it a whole touchdown lower. Now, I don't know what the exact I don't know how much weight there is to per touchdown, but considering that someone's season-long projection is between 7.5 and 8.5, that's not that many touchdowns. So grabbing that whole touchdown edge, massive. So that's the play number one. 1 second. Okay. Is that for the whole season NFL? Yeah, it is. So yeah, you got to wait the whole season, but it's fun. It's almost like a little combination between sports betting, EV betting, and fantasy football. So you have something kind of invested in week to week. So I mean, you can see, I can't even wait for the microwave. You know what? If you can't wait for the microwave, then I'm not sure if this is the one for you. But hey, if you want to stay along and watch, by all means. And if you want to get in on this, then go ahead. But you can see, I mean, I didn't put that much on. I put $50 on it. Keeps me invested for the whole season, and it's a profitable play. So next we got Najee Harris. Now, the thing with the yards, passing yards, receiving yards, rushing yards, they're all over the place, right? Some books, let's say here, they got it at just about 1,000. Another book might have it at 945, 975, whatever it is. You might think is 25-yard discrepancy, is that enough to really take it on a certain book? And my answer to that is no. But When you look at Najee Harris, there's a much larger discrepancy than just 25 yards. When I go look at Najee Harris, he got a 900 and a half. That's 100 yards. That's huge. So we're all over that, taking that at 900 and a half. It really doesn't get much better than that. I guarantee you this line is not going to be here for that much longer, especially as it gets closer to the season. But I feel like you'd be silly not to take something with an 100-yard discrepancy on there. Next, we got Travis Etienne. Now, if I remember correctly, this one's a pretty cool one. So we got Travis Etienne. Hang on one second. Just refresh this real quickly. I don't know why it's showing up at the top. Okay, this one I don't think was on FanDuel. I think it was on DraftKings. And let's see. Okay, there we go. So they have under 6.5 at minus 165. We got it at 6.5 at minus 118. You want to plug those ones in again? Minus 165 plus 140. Implied odds, no vig line, minus 149. We got it for minus 118. Before I said you couldn't get much better than that, we got better than that. You're not going to beat this anywhere. And you could see, like, they're not taking that much vig. They're taking 25 cents a vig on these, which is pretty standard. I mean, that's a lot lower than usually they do for props. It's pretty much in line with these main market plays. So, they're not. It's not like minus 165 and plus 100. It's pretty good in terms of the vig that they're charging. Hey, what's going on, Alex? Okay, next play, Cortland Sutton, under 750.5 receiving yards. So let's go back here. We're going to go to receiving props now. Just type in Sutton. They got us at 675.5. That's a 75-yard discrepancy. That's practically over a game. If we're saying that they're projecting him to have 675 yards, we're going to call it what? There's 17 games of the season. I don't know how much that is per game, but to get it at 70, he's going to average less than 75 yards a game. And for us to get it a 75-yard difference, it's like we got a free game. We got that much of an edge. If you look at DraftKings, go to receiving yards, look up Sutton. They got it at 650.5. So we've got a 75-yard or advantage to FanDuel, and we got an 100-yard advantage to DraftKings. We got it 750.5. Super simple. Awesome. That's 4 right there. We got 2 more. We got Austin Eckler. We got Mike Evans. Go to Eckler. Go to rushing props. 675.5. Oh, I'm sorry. That's AJ Dillon. 725.5. 825.5. 100-yard discrepancy. I will take that all day, every day. And if you're in a legal sports betting state and you kind of want to middle this, you have opportunities to do that too, because you have a 100-yard middle on these. You have a touchdown middle on ETN. Not on ETN, on Pollard. So there's a lot of really solid opportunities to kind of take advantage of these future plays. Now, obviously, it sucks that your money's tied up for X amount of months and stuff, but the return on this stuff is really impressive. If you go through one by one, you can even find a lot of like middles and arbs and stuff like that, and you can make a ton of money. Obviously, scale your bets properly. Like, I only put 50 on this. I'm not going to put 500 on it, even though it's a really solid entry. I'm not going to overexpose myself, especially have $500 tied up on one entry for a full season. Last one is Mike Evans. This one's also pretty juicy. We're going to look here, 5.5, right? We got the under on 5.5 slightly favored at minus 116, but it's 5.5. We got it at 6.5. Massive difference. We can look here, receiving touchdowns. Evans got 6.5, minus 145 on the under, plus 120 on the over. It doesn't get much better than that. So that is that's my Prizepicks entry. I really like it. I'm really excited now for the season to start. And just give me one. That's roughly about. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Mark. Give me 1 sec, and I will pull up the underdog slip right now. It's another 5 pick, so for anyone that's interested, and then I'll also pull up the or I'll bring back the Prizepicks one for anyone that wants to go and tail it. So for this one scares me. There's no other way around it. This one scares me. Jalen Hurts under 11.5 rushing touchdowns. Not fun, okay? But let me show you why I took it. So you look here, we go to rushing props. Go Jalen Hurts. Get the bottom. Okay. They've got it 10.5, under 10.5 being slightly favored. And DraftKings line is really, really impressive. I might take the over here and have that 2 touchdown middle. They got it at 9.5. Now, obviously, the over is being favored. It's plus 130, under plus 110. But we got it for 11.5. As much as I hate it, I had to play it, right? There was just no other way around it. It was too strong not to play. Next play, Cortland Sutton. This is by far my favorite play of either the slips. You'll know why in a second. This one is just absolutely ridiculous. Under 4.5 at minus 152. We got it under 5. I don't even know what type of edge, like what the no vig line would be on 5. All I know is that 4.5 at minus 152 on the under is absolutely stupid. And I think it's probably about the same on here. We'll double check that. Under 4.5, minus 140. We got under 5. Like, this will not stick for a while. Please, if you guys are interested in making these, if you guys want to, lock in a few futures plays, include this and as many as you possibly can. I mean, let's see if it's even there. Yeah, I mean, it's still there. It's literally just there. Low-hanging fruit. You guys got to take advantage of it. Next one we got Bryce Young under 22.5 passing touchdowns. I like Bryce Young. Cool guy. Doesn't mean I can't take this because there's a ton of value on it. If we want to go to passing props, hang on 1 second. All right. We got Bryce Young, 20.5 under slightly favored. We got a 22.5. Here, look, passing touchdowns, Bryce Young, under 22.5. Well, we got it at minus 140, plus 115 on the other side. Good for me. Next one, we got Mac Jones over 17.5. I hate this one personally. I mean, he had an awful year last year. He got benched for part of the season. But 17.5 touchdowns, just about one a game. They've got his line at just about even odds, slightly favoring the under at 19.5. That's a 2-touchdown cushion right there. And here, they've got his line at 19.5 at even odds, minus 110 on both sides. So we just got a 2-touchdown, kind of cushion. If you wanted to middle it, sure. If you wanted to just ride it, also, it's really solid. And the last one we got is Alexander Mattison under 7.5 rushing touchdowns. We'll look at this one. Under 6.5, minus 118. Over is minus 108. We got at 7.5. We'll look at DraftKings. Under 6.5, minus 120. We got it 7.5. Under 7.5. So this, it was a pain to kind of go through, but and there's no real fancy or nice way to do it. You just kind of have to go and compare one by one. But it's really solid, and these sports books, Prizepicks, Underdog, they're completely exposing themselves right now to these massive discrepancies that we can go and take advantage of. So I kind of did the dirty work for you guys. I put together 2 entries I really like. Underdog one was Hurts, Sutton, Bryce Young, Mac Jones, Alexander Mattison. Under on Hurts, so under 11.5 touchdowns on Hurts, under 5 touchdowns on Sutton, under 22.5 passing touchdowns on Bryce Young, under or over 17.5 passing touchdowns on Mac Jones, and under 7.5 rushing touchdowns on Alexander Mattison. And for the Prizepicks, we've got Tony Pollard under 8.5 rushing touchdowns, Najee Harris under 1,000 yards, Travis Etienne under 6.5 touchdowns, rushing touchdowns. Cortland Sutton under 750.5 receiving yards. Austin Eckler under 825.5 rushing yards, and Mike Evans under 6.5 receiving touchdowns. That's that. Like I said, super straightforward. I'm probably going to put more of these together. I'll make sure to post them on Twitter. If any of you guys, I'm probably going to post these two on Twitter also. So if you guys forgot them or want to place it later or whatever it is, I'm going to put it out there. If you guys are tailing it, just comment tail. Like, that's awesome. I always love when, people ride the bets, and I kind of justified every play and why I took them. So it's not like I'm just kind of taking a gut shot. I'm using, these sports books, their odds, their data to kind of show us where these odds are heading or where they're setting their odds at. And we're getting it, like, we're beating it by a ton. You saw I forget which one it was, but it was minus 149, no VIG. We got that at minus 118. If you want to just see what it is, if we want to go and use the Kelly calculator to see what the EV percentage on it is, just copy that, put minus 118. So that play alone had a 10.68% edge. Doesn't get much better than that. What's my lifetime profit on Underdog? I actually don't know that, because when I started using Underdog, it was before I started using Pickett. So I wasn't really tracking it that well. I don't know if there is a way to go onto the website itself and actually find it, but if there is, I'll make sure to find that, and I'll let you know. Besides that, that's about it. Like I said, I'm going to try to go put some more together. They take some time to find, but they're really rewarding and they're fun when they find it. So I'll do the work for you guys. Just make sure to follow me on Twitter. It's just at jkalman, KALMAN 41. And you'll be able to get everything from there. So that's it for me, guys. If there's no other questions, probably going to head out, and I'm going to try to do this more regularly. And once we get back into baseball, obviously right now we got a few days where there's nothing going on. Once we get back into baseball season, I'll have some more baseball bets, hopefully some tennis bets and stuff like that. All right. I'll see you guys.